Max pain. Max pain for altcoin holders, everybody. This is going to be a brutal live stream. Brutal live stream. For me, max pain. Go look at the comments. Go look at the live stream. I'm setting up the live stream. I don't even know. Do we even have, like, I don't even know if there's any bulls out there. The sentiment right now is the max pain. The brutal reality for crypto holders, especially for all of you that are out there, and I say this with love, the brutal reality for all of you out there that are complaining is you're making a mistake. That is the brutal reality. And the other brutal reality is right now, and I want to start with this post, and I'll show you the chart. Because Charles, I just think, I saw this, what was this, yesterday? It just does a very good job of just illustrating where we are. So let's do this. Let me just start with this post. To give you a sense of how big the upcoming bull market is for crypto, we just absorbed a downturn that was larger than the collapse of Luna or FTX and have already nearly recovered. $710 billion in losses and 740,000 traders liquidated in 24 hours. 2025 is crypto's year. I appreciate all of you bulls out there. I know I magnify, I highlight the haters so much, but it's just because, like, all you bulls, all you just supporters out there, you don't comment, and that's okay. It's the bears. It's the haters. It's the ones that are in max pain and they're projecting on these crypto content creators that are just very loud. But I do want to thank all of you for cruising through, for watching, for being here, for your support. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. I will do my best to keep this focused. If I see, I'm going to just ban people, like, in the chats, because it ruins my vibe. It really does. But please, it's not a popular time to be a Bitcoin bull or a crypto bull, an altcoin bull especially. I get that. It's really not. And I want to talk about that. And when it comes to the brutal reality, I do want to look at charts. I want to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Absolutely brutal, and just talk about this. The thesis, even, that I've been tracking on my YouTube channel, and many people have been tracking this piece of data, this move that happened on Bitcoin dominance falling, altcoin season being triggered. I want to talk about that because we have Bitcoin dominance putting in a higher high right now, and I really just want to dissect it. I want to look at it. But that is a brutal reality, right, for this cycle. But I just want to look at it and talk about it. It's not like the end of altcoins because we have these things playing out the way in which they are. So before we really dive into the charts, I want to kind of look at some news that is going on, and then we'll just pivot and look at Bitcoin dominance. I want to look at altcoin charts. I really want to look at the price action of altcoins because this is what we've been tracking. And it's playing out. Potential revisit to a support area on these charts. So this was just kind of breaking before I went live, so I wanted to bring it up. Trump is going to launch a Bitcoin Plus ETF. Safe to say, first ever POTUS ETF issuer. What a country. Many people will say, many people are saying Trump has killed the bull market, but we're in just an entirely new macro environment for crypto. And these things that are continually being released are nothing short of insanely bullish. It just is on the macro. If you can take a moment to zoom out on the short-term charts and this consolidation, and even the fact that altcoins haven't 10x yet, if you can take a moment to zoom out on the fact that those things haven't happened yet, and you understand the macro environment in which crypto is right now, and what is actually just beginning to be unleashed in the space, it's just very bullish. And as somebody that tracks these charts, and I track the cycles, right? If, we can zoom out on just a Bitcoin chart. We track the cycles. I will never sit here and say I know what's going to happen next, because I don't. My biggest thing I always tell you all is I have no clue. I'm just tracking it with you. But one thing I won't back down on is how bullish I am. And I say this time and time again, even when I'm doing the videos. Bitcoin chart right here. Bitcoin can fall. Bitcoin could capitulate to the 70s. Altcoins could get destroyed like we've never seen them be destroyed. And I will be here as a macro crypto investor. If you're here and you're complaining about price action, I don't see how you could be complaining unless you're just simply overextended and you haven't gotten a quick 10x. Like you entered crypto thinking you're going to get a quick 10x or like a 20,000x, 100x. Crypto is in an environment in which it's never been, and it is most bullish. BlackRock and Donald Trump have bought more than $350 million worth of ETH in the past 48 hours. Cardano, Virtune, this is brand new news, just launched a staked Cardano ETP. Cardano just secured a 2x ADA ETF last week, and ADA is also in the Bitwise 10 crypto index ETF, SEC decision coming March 3rd. And these things were not happening last cycle. So, and then I just saw this. This was also breaking before I went live. President of Czech Republic scraps capital gains tax on Bitcoin for holdings over 3 years. So this is the type of stuff, I don't know where you are, located globally, but like here in America, this is the type of stuff we want to see, right? These headlines, the rumors of made in America cryptos kind of having something similar. And I genuinely think that's the direction in which this is going. So let's look at charts. I just want to dive into the charts. I want to look at the brutality of the charts. And before I do, I just want to give a shout out to today's sponsor of the video, a multi-year sponsor, one of the best products in crypto, especially in these environments. We're going to look at Bitcoin dominance cruising to the upside. If you're a macro investor, I know many of you are kind of just long-term investors as opposed to short-term traders. When we get Bitcoin dominance moves like this, it does give you pause, right? You really start thinking about the macro approach here to these markets, to Bitcoin markets, to altcoin markets, to moves that you want to make. And the itrustcapital product allowing you to simply make moves within the IRA tax-free, make long-term trades. You can make short-term trades, but they're tax-free. This product is like no other. So if you haven't signed up, hit the link below the video and sign up with itrustcapital. And I appreciate itrustcapital for just being an awesome supporter of the channel and really just an awesome product in the crypto space as we continue to move forward. So let's start with Bitcoin dominance, and then we're going to just start looking at just altcoin markets. And I do want to just say, like, I did a video the other day. We talked about the exact scenario that is happening with altcoins, and I'm going to look at specifically ETH, ADA. We can look at other altcoins, but I want to look at the move that is happening because after we get capitulation, I don't think I've ever seen just immediately, this is a daily chart on Ethereum, like immediately we're just bouncing straight up, like to a breakout. Like there's going to be pain involved. And this is where max pain is kind of coming from. And this is where people are being very tested. And I posted this about Bitcoin dominance a little bit ago. Bitcoin dominance has really put my altcoin season timeline thesis to the test. This isn't the first time crypto has tested my patience, and I'm sure many of you as well. All of our patience being massively tested. I'm more confident than ever that crypto and altcoins are positioned to grow exponentially. It's a new era. You're either in or you're out. So let's see. Let's start with altcoin season timeline thesis being put to the test. And I want to look at it from a couple different perspectives. The number one perspective is obviously how I've been personally tracking this on the YouTube channel. And that is to say, previous cycles, right? Bitcoin halving, 243 days after Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin dominance started plummeting, right? Last cycle, after Bitcoin halving, 238 days, right around the same amount of days, Bitcoin dominance started plummeting. So what happened this cycle at the lower high Fibonacci, this red rectangle, around, right, 216 days after Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin dominance saw rejection at the Fibonacci and started falling. This was insane for altcoins. This was, and you remember, this was in November. It was very fun. Altcoins exited those lows. And still, right now, altcoins have exited those lows and they're putting in a higher low right now. But now Bitcoin dominance has diverged for the first time ever. And so I have to realistically look at this. And this is brutal, right? I don't know about you. For me, we got to fall. We got to move back up. Normal. Consolidation sideways. Normal. Like retesting all this area. Normal. Wanted to see Bitcoin dominance continue falling. It hasn't. This is a brutal chart to look at. This is kind of a brutal reality. Things pivoting away from historically how they have happened. But I'll sit here right now, and for me, this is not saying that altcoins are done at all. We're just in a brand new environment. We have institutional Bitcoin adoption and inflows like we've never seen. We have governments racing to Bitcoin right now, right? So Bitcoin has a special dominance to it right now. But at the same time, as we start dissecting and looking at charts like Ethereum and Ethereum BTC, I want to look at that. I sit here, and this is just my opinion, everybody. There's no need to get mad at me for my opinion. But I sit here and I genuinely think altcoins are absolutely going to have an amazing 2025 year, and Bitcoin dominance will fall. And so the Bitcoin dominance chart, something we're going to continue watching, because I think most importantly on the weekly, for this week at least, if you look at the weekly, you can see this big wick to the upside. I don't know how this candle will close on the weekly, but we see this higher high on Bitcoin dominance, and we see a lower high on the Bitcoin dominance RSI, right? So there's some bearish divergence right there. And this could be the moment where Bitcoin dominance just starts falling. I did see this post from Rect Capital. Bitcoin dominance has finally broken into 58 to 71% range. And every time BTC dominance broke into this range, Bitcoin dominance would revisit 71% before rejecting harshly to the downside to enable a strong alt season. So what he's looking at, if you go over here to Bitcoin dominance on the weekly, he's looking at this area back here from last cycle, right around this area, just kind of hitting that area, falling, hitting this area, falling. So he's saying maybe that's the area we go to. That has not been my thesis, right? My whole thesis for Bitcoin dominance has been swing low to swing high, and generally just kind of this entire Fibonacci range, the lower high range for Bitcoin dominance to kind of top out at. And this is still very much in play. Bitcoin dominance just eating into the range more this cycle. So last swing high to cycle low on Bitcoin dominance. And you can just see, you can move this down a little bit, Bitcoin dominance, the upper end of the Fibonacci is around 65%. So that's kind of the lower high Fibonacci that I'm watching on Bitcoin dominance. And it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out, right? Even this week, next week. And it's something to track. I wanted to start with Ethereum. When we start looking at altcoins, then we can take a glance at ADA and then total crypto market cap chart, excluding Bitcoin, ETH, and then we can look at like some other altcoins. Appreciate all of you out there. If you're out there in the chats, please smash the like. I want to take a glance at 68% still bullish on altcoins. If I would have taken the poll 2 months ago, I bet you'd be like 90 some percent. So, Ethereum. Let's start with this clip. This was from what? This is from a couple days ago, I think February 4th. The capitulation day. Check this out. You can also see how, man, this might actually just kind of be grueling. Maybe we go a little bit further down in the coming days and we're just testing the lower trend line. Maybe it's not as volatile. Grueling. This is grueling. This is where max pain is found. People are waiting for just kind of this exit. And you can see since the capitulation, we know how awesome this green candle looked the other day, but pretty much every time we get capitulation candles over the years, no matter how beautiful they look, the altcoin or Bitcoin, whatever it is, eats into it. It just trickles into it even more. And this is where Max Payne is. And again, you see Max Payne in the comments. You see a lot of people are not happy right now. And this is why, because it just feels endless, right? But if we stick to the data, we can kind of get a glance at what's going on. So for Ethereum, and it's very similar across the board, not exact for all altcoins, but if we change this to like a 6-hour chart for Ethereum, you can see from swing low to the bounce swing high here, our Fibonacci is still all the way down here, right? So we think we're seeing pain right now. There might be more pain. And this is what we've been tracking. And it's not like it's guaranteed to get to this area. But for me, I am very curious to see if we get a higher low revisit, if Ethereum bleeds out even more, $2,400 down to around $2,300. This would be a normal post-capitulation consolidation. And there would be it would just be so brutal. And it would be very painful. And I'm not sitting here saying like, I would like that. And I don't care. I don't enjoy it, everybody. Like I don't either. But it would be very normal. Again, rarely have we ever seen we get a capitulation and then it's just straight up from there. There's just kind of this bounce and this trickling. And during that time, I think what's important to do on the charts is really look at the RSI. What is the RSI doing on all the time frames? 6-hour, the daily, all that good stuff. But right now, you look at this and it's like, man, this is brutal. And the other thing I want to talk about that is brutal, if we're going to face reality, again, let's face reality. And all this data doesn't make me bearish, everybody. And I know it makes a lot of people bearish, but it does not make me bearish. I'm incredibly bullish on this space. I started this live stream with Charles' post, 2025 is crypto's year. And I agree with that. And him posting that actually is like, it's nice. It's nice to be reminded there are people out there that are actually still bullish on crypto. I don't know how you can't be bullish on crypto right now. I respect it. I don't get it. But here's what we're looking at. Like, let's lean into the pain just a bit. Ethereum last cycle, right? Here's this blue line is Bitcoin halving last cycle. So, and this blue line is Bitcoin halving this cycle. We're around 292 days or something post Bitcoin halving. And Ethereum is like 70% from all-time high. Last cycle at this moment, 292 days after the Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin moving, altcoins are moving. Ethereum was above all-time high and consolidating, getting ready for the next leg up. That's like pain to look at that and realize that. But it's weird too, because while that's happening, we have BlackRock, Donald Trump, and this is just one headline from like recent 48 hours. Ethereum whales have been just accumulating like crazy as all of the retail sentiment has just been capitulating. The negativity, the bear market calls, like big money is buying everybody. And if you're a bear out there and you're somebody that's just hating on content creators and trying to blame content creators for the lack of the 20x or something, like institutions and whales are buying your crypto. I just want to let you know that. In this brand new era that we are just entering, I just want to let you know that. So Ethereum, it has diverged. Like at this moment last cycle, Ethereum was above all-time high, and right now it's almost 80% below all-time high. Almost 80% away from all-time high. But again, that's not, in my opinion, like a bear market indicator. It's not. And in fact, if you look at an ETH BTC chart, we get hints of like it's just another picture or illustration of Max Payne. And you know the whole Warren Buffett quote, right? Be fearful when others are greedy. So be fearful here. And then be greedy when others are fearful. So I didn't want to do a live stream today. It's way easier for me just to do like a 10-minute video and not have to kind of, you know, put myself out there as a bull in a high fear environment, because it is brutal, man. But this is exactly where we are. ETH BTC is in like high fear environment. It's the bear market for Ethereum. Like the bear market, it's on. Ethereum's done, according to a lot of people. And so what does that say? Well, if we look at last cycle, Ethereum, you can even see that red candle right there, capitulating like crazy. The fear right here, December 2020 on the ETH BTC chart, looking so terrible, right? And this was actually right before Bitcoin dominance started falling. This purple line is Bitcoin dominance starting to fall last cycle, altcoin season kicking off. But look at the capitulation on the ETH BTC pair. You'd be so surprised how fast things can turn around. And then all of a sudden, sentiment changes from complete bearishness to like euphoria, bull market, altcoin season. And so I think an ETH BTC chart is a very nice illustration of that. Hey, I appreciate you being here, bro. I didn't know. I messaged you on Telegram. I was like, I don't know if he's around. Oleg says the altcoin market is totally exhausted. I agree. And we've seen it before. I don't ban anybody from the chats. When anybody calls me out on anything or says something that's opposite of what I think, I remove or ban people when you start calling me a scammer or a shiller, just because I'm bullish and I put my long-term data out there. The cycle is cruel for alts so far, but I'm telling you, watch how fast that can change. Appreciate you, Joseph, cruising through. Thank you for being here. Retail is being tested. Simple. Agreed. Retail is absolutely being tested. Runes are definitely altcoins, and I think they're just probably the biggest sleeper in crypto. That people, it's just, and that's what it is. This type of thing happens every cycle. There's something that's just, there's a huge community, but it's just a sleeper. Crypto hasn't woken up to it yet. Bitcoin Runes, I think, is that. There's one thing we agree on, it's that nobody knows what's going to happen. 100% agree. And I don't know why people act like I sit here saying I know what's going to happen, or that's my purpose here. It's not. All I say is I don't know what's going to happen. I'm tracking the data. I'm a macro bull. Be patient. Agreed. So all coins are getting exhausted, man. Like, look at the ETH BTC chart. So, and personally, from, you know, before I went live, like in the morning, I like to just sit outside, catch up on what's going on out there. I'm just sitting there. I get exhausted too with it, everybody. And I get that feeling, and like, that feeling is what actually fuels me and drives me and makes me really want to focus, because that feeling is just a feeling. And it's something I felt many times over the years in crypto. And when things really do like kind of get exhausted, there's like this max pain this ETH BTC chart, max pain, it's oftentimes, and it's not a guarantee, but oftentimes, like when it's getting ready to turn around. And last cycle, ETH BTC, very good example of that. All the way back here, 2016, very good example of that. Max pain, everybody. I decide to embrace it and to lean into it, and that's what I'm doing, right? So ETH BTC looking terrible, but focus on the headlines. Big money buying Ethereum while retail panics and sells. Let's take a look. And if you hold altcoins and stuff out there, start putting it in the chat. I want to maybe try and take a look at some altcoins, but I want to take a look at ADA to start. And this is a clip also from the other day, which is around 57 cents to around 62 cents. That is the short-term support for ADA. If a similar move happens, meaning we get that really nice bounce that we saw, and then all of a sudden we're falling more. Bears are just so happy. People will just be like, oh man, this is not going to happen for ADA, and then we get the bounce. So, I mean, we're already there. Like, bears are so happy. You see the sentiment across the board, and we're not even at that target. Like, this could get much worse. So we were bouncing very nicely. ADA, with many others like ETH, we just saw just put in a really nice candle. This is 6 hour. It doesn't look as good as the daily, but we get that really nice bounce, right? We wick down to 50 cents, get the bounce. It's over, yes. And then boom. This is what we're talking about the other day. And this is a picture of like max pain, this happening. And we're already feeling it just with this little 6 hour candle, right? And even just the sideways. We all want to exit. All these altcoins, not just ADA. We all want to bounce to the upside, and it's not happening, and we might actually see more pain. So what I was talking about in the video is really just the swing low of capitulation to the swing high bounce. We had the nice bounce. I think wasn't like 60% or something. And then now we're trickling sideways. It's very similar to Ethereum chart that we just looked at, and it's kind of like what happens 63 cents to 57 cents. Will there be support? If there's more capitulation below that area, everybody, I'm just going to have to I'll still do videos, but I'm just going to sit here and just wait. Painfully wait. Because like Charles said, we just absorbed a downturn that was larger than the collapse of Luna or FTX. 710 billion in losses. 740,000 traders liquidated in 24 hours. You realize how big that is? If that wasn't like ultimately the bottom, right, for these altcoins, and we go lower, the shakeout, I mean, it's already unprecedented. The shakeout at that moment will just be, it will be surreal. Like this is kind of like nothing I've ever seen. This, if we went lower, would just be next level. I'll track it. I just don't know exactly how I'll track it. H-bar. So have to take a look at H-bar. One thing on a lot of these charts that I'm watching, so for instance, for Cardano is on the weekly. Week's not over, right? 3 days, 8 hours. What happens at the bottom range of these bull market doors? That's something I'm watching, right? And the reason why it's so important is just because we have the 200-week moving average and the 20-week moving average basically there. 75, 76 cents is a huge area for Cardano. And I'm looking at this 50-week, the 50-week moving average in blue around 57 cents, which is interesting because if we go back and we look at this higher low Fibonacci, 63 down to 58. So this truly is not only a short-term 6 hour higher low, but this is macro needed support for ADA. But then you look at something also like Ethereum, and the interesting story on Ethereum is very similar to ADA, just a little bit different. Is Ethereum going to kind of close this weekly candle above this blue trend line of this massive symmetrical triangle? And also, obviously, very important for it to close above the 200-week moving average down here around 2,400. So the next 3 days, 8 hours are going to be really, really interesting. It's not a shakeout. It's the bear at this point. I don't know. That's right. Wherever we pump, Dan does a live stream when we dump. I have to. I have to lean into the pain too. I can't just only do live streams when we're just, you know, having fun and pumping. So somebody said it's the beginning of the bear. Thanks. I see a lot of the love comments out there. I appreciate each and every one of you. I do. It does mean a lot to me. Like everybody, I'm human. I'm working on trying to filter the negativity, but I'm human, and like I fail very much at that. I'm working on it, but I do fail at it because I have to, like, I like to read comments. I like to go into YouTube Studio and just see what's going on. And it's just lately been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. Ask my wife. I'm always just like, dude, what is going on? Like, so the reason why I'm just like, I know there's a lot of people like, it's the beginning of the bear. And I think it's just because I have this like macro picture of the market burned into my head, right? So let me explain what I mean by that. Total crypto market cap zoomed out. And this is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I saw this comment as I was actually getting ready to start the live stream. Somebody said, last video was titled Altcoins at the bull market door. And that was 12 hours ago. Not trying to be a jerk, just find it funny. And I'm bringing that up because like two things can be true at once. Altcoins are at the bull market door right now, everybody. It just is what it is. And that's what the video was about. And right now we are experiencing max pain because people aren't getting gains as fast as they want. But the bull market doors for altcoin markets is swing high to swing low in the cycle. This green Fibonacci, this is where we are. Bitcoin, this cycle, obviously like months ago, made this move. Break through the lower high Fibonacci, revisit lower high Fibonacci, continue to the upside. So we're at the bull market doors. And in context to like the bear market, I don't see a bear market, namely because of this. We really are entering a new global era for crypto. And I think any downside, even the downside we're seeing here, maybe we trickle more, there's going to be incredible demand for smart money and whales and institutions coming into the space. We are in a very tiny market right now. Like this is as a whole only like a $3 trillion market. And the beginning of global adoption. We talk about adoption over the years. Now it is here. Now it's starting to happen. Governments racing for Bitcoin. Altcoin ETFs coming out. Institutional adoption coming out for altcoins. So in talk of a bear market, right now, all I see is here's the bear market. Here's Bitcoin halving. Here's a higher low, right? Here's a higher low. And the biggest thing that I think I have trouble with right now, when I see a lot of people that are just like, you know, blaming me, blaming other content creators for being bullish, just, you know, complaining about all of the losses that they've suffered. My thing that I struggle with is like, I did videos all through this kind of area talking about the upcoming bull market, right? And this is how it's played out so far. Higher low, higher low. Like, where are the losses here? And I hope most of you are like picking up what I'm putting down and you're seeing the same thing I see. Because where are the losses on the total crypto market? This is altcoin charts. Yes, we are down, right? Like swing high to swing low, total 35%. But like from just here, the bottom, where are the losses? If you came in and you entered here, I'm sorry, but that's not my fault, okay? It's absolutely not my fault, and it's no other content creator's fault. And if you look, and we go to last cycle, here's a swing high to swing low, 30%. Here's a higher low going into the bull market, swing high, swing low, 25%. Here is kind of where we are timeline-wise, swing high to swing low, 35%. Very similar to the fall that we've had here. The only difference is, and I think this is where really the max pain once again is illustrated, and for me too, it's just, look how prolonged this is. Like it's months. Back here last cycle at this moment, wow. Like now I'm just thinking about it. I was so spoiled. 30%, 35% dip right there. And I'm sure we were doing, videos, but like so spoiled. Only 1 week and then higher, right? This is months of consolidation. Like I just want to put this out there in a friendly, loving way. Like these are the kind of comments that literally I will ban, because it's like, this is my channel. This is my real estate. I just don't need that here. It's so ridiculous. Like why? Why be that negative? Doesn't make sense to me. XRP. That wick down to the 20-week moving average is nice. I don't want to forget to look at that, but I want to go to the daily chart. Like just hanging out. Look at this. So swing high to swing low, 47% dip ultimately for XRP, currently down around 31%. Same as Ethereum and ADA charts. A picture of max pain. And the fact is, like, if you look at these capitulation events across the years, this is a very similar setup that we're getting right now. Swing low, swing high. And, I don't want to just say, hey, this is like so bullish, right? But oftentimes, this is how the bottom has been formed after capitulation. I'm not saying that I know that's going to happen again. I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but I'm just saying this is how capitulation over the years across multiple cryptos, including Bitcoin, this is how the formation starts, right? We get the bounce and then we're revisiting. So for XRP, targets that are realistic and normal, painful, brutal, terrible, I get it, but normal. $1.99, XRP to $2.19. That's the range, the higher low range. Somebody said, I think like I was bullish at ADA at $1.20 or something. Like, why? So I just want to put this out there. I was bullish here on ADA at 34 cents. And then ADA made a move of 300%. And I was still bullish here at $1.30. And then ADA made a move from $1.30 to 51 cents. And I was still bullish here, and I'm still bullish here. So I'm bullish here, I'm bullish here, I'm bullish here. And it's mainly because, and on all of these charts, I'm zoomed out on the cycle. I'm zoomed out on crypto, what I think is happening. This isn't like a short-term game for me personally. And maybe there might be a lot of people out there that are like short-term traders. You're trying to flip quick 10x. Like, that's not my game. That's not what I'm here for. That's not the type of content that I create. I'm a macro, long-term investor, accumulator. If you were accumulating through the bear market, this is just ADA. But if you're accumulating here and then you get 300% gains, and we're getting kind of this throwback now, and this is really how it is across all altcoin charts, there's genuinely nothing to complain about, right? You have your choice. If you want to try and sell when we get overbought, or you have your choice, you can just prepare for the dip. And that is exactly what I try to do on this YouTube channel. Whenever we get overextended from the moving averages, I talk about the pullback back into those areas. And this is what's happening right now, everybody. This is literally normal, and it's what crypto does. What other altcoins? Let me see. So that's ADA. That was ADA, I should say. I'm absolutely not a god, but thank you for your support. There's only one true living God. That is not me. Somebody said H bar. I know I have an H bar. I wonder what Sui's doing. I see Sui here. I mean, I just look at these charts and like I just think about like as I look at each chart, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, and I kind of did a video on it last night. Like each one has its own nice little narrative. Sui doing its thing this bull run. Don't think it's over at all. But when I look at these throwbacks, I understand as Sui holders like not happy with 50% losses, 42% currently. But in this environment that we're in right now, like you have to realize this is probably the best possible thing that could be happening. It's so unhealthy just to keep going up and to get ridiculously overbought. It's just so unhealthy, everybody. This is crypto, and these moves are so important. And Sui just re-pulling into between the 20, the 50. Maybe we go lower. I don't know what the shorter term charts look like. Actually kind of a little curious to see if, yeah, I mean, it's literally across the board. It's this lower high Fibonacci is the main thing I'm watching on the short term. Just curious to see what happens. I would love to see this hold up for the crypto markets, this higher low area. So Sui target 296 down to like 271. I want to see it hold up so much. If we go to, let me go over here, change this to a daily and go to, just curious, like, I mean, actually, I was going to go all the way back to like the COVID capitulation, but look at the bear market capitulation, August 2024. This is total crypto market cap charts. Currently $3.1 trillion. But you look at this, right? And this is a daily chart, but you can even see how prolonged this test was, right? But look at this. This was the bottom of the bear market. And remember, the liquidations record breaking in this move that we just had compared to even this move back here in the bear market low. But look at that, like 1.7 trillion swing low to a swing high all the way down to the Fibonacci. There's a higher low Fibonacci test. But look how grueling that is. Like we get even that nice bounce, 32% bounce, and then all of a sudden it's failing. It's all coming down again, right down to the Fibonacci. So in the short term, this is kind of what we're watching for. Notice how the entire move itself from capitulation to really finally getting above the moving averages took 70 days, 2 months. I'm not saying that that's like what we're going to do, like take that long for the bottoming out. However, it's good to always anticipate, right? So here was the very volatile COVID swing low. And yeah, so even on the total crypto market cap chart, if we change it to a kind of a 6 hour, sort of like what we've been doing for, where'd that go? Man, it took me all the way back. what we've been doing for altcoins, like every altcoin, you can see even the swing low of COVID capitulation to swing high. There's that higher low Fibonacci, and then just slowly exiting that area. So I'm not presenting that to say that's exactly what is going to happen, and I absolutely would like it. I would love even if we don't even have to revisit the Fibonacci, right? But what happens at the area is the question. And if we start breaking that area, it actually would be pretty unprecedented. So I'm actually just curious because I haven't really done a lot of that analysis on the total crypto market cap chart, but here is what it looks like currently. So we just looked at COVID, and now we have this capitulation. Swing low to swing high. So 3 trillion down to around $2.9 trillion would be, if it did what it did at the COVID capitulation, it would be capitulation, swing high, boom, support, start exiting, right? So that's what I'm curious of short-term price action. What do you think about the last Trump ETF news? Why is the market right now not reacting positively? I agree. People don't understand what an opportunity this is. I do. It's a very unpopular time to be a crypto bull, for sure, which is kind of crazy. Ohio in the house. Thanks, Don, for being here. We could bleed until quantitative tightening ends easily. It's very true. I don't want to ban the bears. I just when a certain comment gets too far, like I have to. It's my channel. It's like when you're down and out of capital, it's tough. I get it. I understand. I mean, I've had that feeling very many times over the cycles. Like you accumulate, you think you're kind of getting towards like the bottomy area, and then it actually like goes lower. You're just like, it's so hard to time the bottom. It's so hard to time the top. Bearish divergence on Bitcoin dominance is also showing. Agreed. And you can see it there. Higher high on Bitcoin dominance price, lower high on the Bitcoin dominance RSI. So curious to see how it will play out. Very curious to see how it will play out. Somebody asked about the news. Trump going to launch a Bitcoin Plus ETF. I've realized, over the years, we get news, we get bullish news, and it doesn't do anything. But I think that's something a lot of people have gotten used to, but I also think it's just something that it's just normal in crypto. I think what we have to look at is fundamentally what these things mean that are happening right now. Like truly, I thought about yesterday, man, I need to just go and gather every single headline. I can't even keep up with it. I can't even just off the top of my head, explain each one. I forget. There's so many I forget. There's so many headlines. But what does each one of these things singularly mean for the macro environment of crypto? Like President of Czech Republic scraps capital gains tax on Bitcoin for holdings over 3 years. It's starting, everybody. It's starting. And whales are absolutely accumulating. Not just Bitcoin, altcoins. And again, I zoom out on the charts. And what's the toughest thing for me to say, and it's not the first time I say it, is this. even if we just keep falling, right? Some type of higher low. I don't even want to put this out there because this would be unprecedented. Never happened, but like we have this kind of capitulation bottom bear market, swing high. Even if this chart, this is total crypto market cap chart, this is including Bitcoin, goes to this higher low, Fibonacci, I will still be doing videos. I will still be doing videos. And I'll be bullish. If we just lose $1 trillion. And it's like, I realize how unpopular that would be, but like it was unpopular back here for me to be doing videos that were bullish at $100 billion. So like, this is my mindset. I do videos there bullish, do videos here bullish, and I'll even do videos here bullish. And it's not just me. I know I'm talking about, like, I'm talking a lot about myself, but it's only because I'm just tracking literally my thoughts and my crypto journey. But I just know a lot of you out there are kind of like the same way. And a lot of us miss bottoms. We miss tops, like in terms of macro trading and trying to move things around a little bit. Because I'm not a short-term trader. We miss things. We miss opportunities. But at the end of the day, for me, like my exposure to these markets is long-term, and I'm here for it. Brandon says whales loading up. I think price is being manipulated so these whales can get in low. Just my theory. I 100% agree. 100% just agree with that. That's exactly where my head is at. And it is brutal. It's max pain. Somebody said it all depends on your time horizon. If you want to pump next week or month, you're gambling. I agree. That's why, like most videos, I like to zoom out. Like I like to at least some point in the video, maybe more towards the beginning, I like to have a zoomed out picture of like the story that's playing out. Because it's true. If you're really short-term trading this market, I can't do it. I've said that time and time again. I can't short-term. I just can't do it. How many times have you round tripped it? Well, I mean, last cycle, took profits in the bull market. Did I time the exact top? No. Would I have liked to put more allocation from altcoins to Bitcoin? Yeah. But took profits, and it was, I mean, an amazing, life-changing bull market. And I think a lot of people are kind of falling into this trap thinking that we're about to enter a bear market, crypto's over right now. And I think they're going to be, I think they're just very mistaken. So like, I don't know if you're talking about round tripping it in the context of this cycle, but I don't think this cycle is anywhere near done. Somebody just mentioned David says, I love you and your positivity, man. Thanks. Thank you, David. Daily RSI is getting so low on alts that is just a matter of time for a reversal. We just keeping having good news every day, every week. It's all manipulation. Yeah. I mean, the news is ridiculous. I cannot keep up with it. But if you go to Ethereum, I'm so frustrated. I forgot my water. I don't have water in here. I need water. This is a weekly chart on Ethereum. I mean, just look at that. 6 hour oversold. Go to the daily. Ethereum, not yet. Not yet oversold on the daily. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. If it hits oversold, I think that's one of many, what would be one of many incredibly bullish indicators. Again, the ETH BTC chart I think is very telling. You look at cross cycles, you look at fear, high fear environments. This is what I meant to bring up on the ETH BTC chart when I was looking at this. Like, look at this move. Ethereum looking completely done for. Lower low like no other on price. Check this out. A little bit of a higher low while all that is happening. That could be a signal of something very special for not just Ethereum, but altcoins. And then Bitcoin dominance while that's happening, putting in some strong bearish divergence on the weekly. Not trying to put copium out there. It's just a one piece of data point to pay attention to. If you guys loaded up in bear market, this would not have affected any of you. You would still be in profit. Yes. That's one of the biggest things that I'm trying to wrap my head around when I see a lot of bearish comments. People are just like, you know, you see the comments. Because it is like, track this whole thing for years. And right now we're just higher lows. Even when we had this move, like August 2024, this is total crypto market cap, by the way, everything. Like, I don't remember the negative sentiment even being as bad as it is right here. It's very weird. Dog chart. Lean into the pain. Gotta lean into the pain. Dog chart. Dog chart, just like every other altcoin chart, like in terms of indicators that we're looking at, right? So bullish on dog, everybody still. People laugh. People put mocking comments like with that laughy face. Oh, why don't you show us some more dog? Swing low, swing high. Dog higher low Fibonacci, 260 to 240. One of the best altcoin plays in crypto, in my opinion. Just my opinion. And I will track absolutely the meme coin brutality. Look, typical 80% meme coin dip for a new meme coin. I'll track it. I'll be here for it. Before runes even get their moment to shine in the bull cycle, I'll be here for it. I'll track it. I'll live with it. I'll live through the pain. I embrace it. I embrace the pain. Saw somebody posting about leverage. Be so careful with leverage, everybody. Like, I don't tell people what to do, but man, just don't use leverage. When all says we have bear market, we shall buy. People repeat the same mistake all the time, again and again. Thank me later in half a year. Alex, I just simply agree with that. Like, it is I've been doing these videos for over 7 years. It is the same thing over and over again. Ski isn't my other top favorite meme coin. Ski Mask Dog on base. Looking just great, man. Through all of this mess, look at the chart on the 4 hour. I don't know how this chart continues to keep looking so good. It just looks so good. When altcoins get the continuation, again, I don't know when it will be. Ski Mask Dog on base is crazy. Gets a listing. Imagine gets a listing on Coinbase. I mean, this is the top meme coin play on base. Dog is a top meme coin play on Bitcoin, #1 chain in the world. Ski Mask Dog is a top play on Base. So much. I think there's so much in store for all these coins, everybody. I'm sorry to be so bullish. And again, I'll say this. I say this all the time, even at the bear market lows. I could be wrong about everything. It could all go to zero. And I don't know what's going to happen. But when I look at I look at what's happening with crypto, I look at all of these charts, I look at the narratives, I'm very bullish on all of these things. That's just me. That's all it is. Ski Mask Dog. Pretty cool to look at all these altcoin charts, and we have this higher low Fibonacci. And the reason why, and I just talked about it, the reason why it's so meaningful to me is simply because when we get capitulation, that's the type of move we've gotten so often over the cycles, over the years, for all of these altcoin charts. So we have an area to watch. 0.11 down to 0.1, 10 cents to 11 cents. Don't want it to happen. What if it doesn't even hold? I'm charting all these higher low Fibonacci's. What if they don't even hold and we go lower? I think at that moment, what would be important is to look at what the RSI is doing at that moment. Because if we start getting bullish divergence in a move like that, that will be a perfect example. For instance, ADA. I bought ADA in the dip. This is a Ski Mask Dog chart, but all the charts look the same. I bought ADA, right, in the dip. If we go lower than the Fibonacci for something like ADA or Ski Mask Dog or whatever, if we go lower than the Fibonacci and there's bullish divergence, I will have, this is me personally, I will have to deploy more capital at this stage of the cycle. I just would have to. And maybe we go even lower, and maybe everybody, maybe it's a bear market. All the bears are right. It's a bear market. I would buy with that thought in mind. Whenever I buy, my thought in mind is not like, hey, I'm buying because I just think it's going up. And that's it. Thought doesn't stop there for me. I also buy thinking, hey, this is amazing buy, but it could all go to zero. That's how I rein in my buying fingers, so I don't buy more than I can afford to lose. I tell myself this could all fail, and I think it's very unlikely that it all fails. It can crash heavy without being a bear market. Yep, that's it. We got 11,000 people in the chats or in the live stream. 657 likes. Get me to 1,000. I can't end the live stream until we get to 1,000 likes. What's up with this ratio? Come on, I know we're down, but let's go. I know most of you are bullish with me. I know you are. I know you're just sitting there watching this video, not commenting, wondering like me, are we in trouble? Are we going to finally bounce? You're feeling the pain. I'm feeling the pain. If you're out there, smash that like button. A lot will be announced this year. True. And that's the thing. What else is going to happen this year? What is this administration going to do? This one little headline just came out of nowhere. President of Czech Republic scraps capital gains tax. What happens when we see headlines like this with US? What are the headlines for ADA going to be this month, right? There's something big going on with Cardano this month. Ondo is this new one out of nowhere. I don't own any. I'm probably missing out on, it's probably a SUI play. I missed out on SUI. I'm sure Ondo is that for me. There's so many narratives. There's so much. What's going to come out this year? It's discount time. We got Austria in the house. That's how we know we're bullish. Actually, I don't even think I even looked at a Bitcoin chart, have I? We looked at the bearish divergence on Bitcoin dominance. Here is Bitcoin chart. It's so funny to always, it's like altcoins really are in like they're in a rough spot. Like it's been a test for sure. Cause you open up a Bitcoin chart and it's like nothing's happened. Altcoins just absolutely getting destroyed right now. Open up Bitcoin dominance chart and it's just like, or not Bitcoin dominance, open up a Bitcoin chart and it's like, wow, look at that. Nothing has happened. Since the last leg up, all the gains, yeah, we saw 108,000. We saw 89,000, but right now it's just hanging out 96,000. Netherlands in the house. Hyper gain requires hyper pain. Man, that is a good little saying. Appreciate it. Because it's so true. I think, did I have an others BTC chart up somewhere? This is others excluding the top 10. Again, even this chart. Man, you just really like to see this. In environments like today, like when we're not pumping, we're falling, people are scared of the bear market, I really hold back. Like Thailand in the house. I hold back from just being, trying to be too bullish, just because I know it just looks crazy. But look at the higher low. This is excluding the top 10 cryptos. This is really altcoin market, picture of altcoin markets. A really good, actually, now I'm just looking at this. This is a daily. This swing low back in August. Look at this. We're testing like a pretty key area. So on the long term, very important. Check out these. There's going to be 2 Fibonacci's here. This is a pretty cool chart. So macro 215 billion, higher low. It could go that lower, right? But check out, if I change this daily, let me get rid of that Fibonacci. There it is. There's our Fibonacci long-term support. Look at that wick too, right down to the lower end of the Fibonacci. And then we go to 6 hour. Swing low to the swing high. So here's our shorter term, midterm consolidation that we're living through, that we have to deal with. That is very frustrating. I get it. We have our shorter term Fibonacci in this area. So we have 2 Fibonacci's right now that this chart is really trading within. All the while we've hit oversold pretty incredibly on the 6 hour. I mean, very incredibly. Let's just get our trend line. So if you check that out, like this is legit. It's like all the major consolidations or capitulations over the years, like that's the level that we're hitting. That's pretty crazy to look at that. Look at even COVID, the COVID swing low. It's exactly. And there's a lot of them. Change it to a daily. Not oversold on the daily. But two Fibonacci's to keep an eye on. One macro Fibonacci if the pain just gets unbearable and really bad. We've already wicked to the area, which is incredible. And then this shorter term higher low. Which is interesting because like Look at this capitulation back here in August. If you take a Fibonacci, like kind of like what we're trying to do now, we take the Fibonacci on the short term, we take it to this first swing high. This is kind of where we are. We're kind of like sitting here analyzing, okay, we got the bounce out of the capitulation to the upside. Oh no, we're trickling down. Here's our support down here. Notice how that didn't happen. And it actually went higher. But look what did happen. There was the Fibonacci that needed to be tested. So it just took longer. And I think we saw that, we might have seen this on a different chart as well at that moment. But the purpose of me saying that is we don't have to visit this right now, right? We don't have to test a Fibonacci. Crypto markets can start cruising even higher. Maybe testing the moving averages, right? Maybe we're up here, $300 billion market cap, $315 billion. We're getting a bounce. Didn't test the Fibonacci. We're all happy. Then we're coming back down, and then we're testing some type of Fibonacci, right? Like that. Boom. Either way, I think for me, in my mind, I'm just trying to allow some type of time for the bottoming out formation, because historically has always been some type of bottoming out formation. I hope it's not this long. I would love to just start exiting now and break the moving averages, but it's just never that easy, everybody. I have only thing to say, God bless. God bless you as well, George. Appreciate you cruising through. Almost at 1,000 likes. Not ending the live stream until I get to 1,000 likes. It's not happening. So basically, when everything is going down bad, then we're bullish. What's crazy is, yeah. I mean, it literally is like the Warren Buffett quote: be fearful when others are greedy, be greedy when others are fearful. Because let's face it, like when things, you zoom out on any chart, whatever, this is crypto market cap, excluding top 10, but like when things get overheated, a lot of greed is there. That's when you be fearful. When things get, capitulate, there's a lot of fear. That's when to be bullish. This is typically how the markets work. It doesn't mean it's like exact. You can't necessarily time tops and bottoms with that, but like go look at the fear and greed index right now. It's not looking good. We're in fear. We're absolutely in fear right now. Lucas, thanks for the super chat. Lucas says, thoughts on DOT? Dude, I don't know, but like, so look at DOT. DOT is like testing these lows from the fall. That's not pretty. This could be one of those things where it's just like, man, this is way oversold. This is ridiculous. Really good time to buy. I saw Tim Warren, shout out to Investing Bros over there. They've been hustling. They hustle through the bear market. But I saw Tim, like I was watching one of their videos and he was doing DOT analysis and he's very mysterious. He's like, everybody, I can't tell you why, but don't buy DOT. I don't know. I have no idea what he's talking, like why he said that. But like DOT testing these lows back here, I don't know what that means. I don't know what Tim meant by that. I don't have a lot. He I don't know why he said that. I'm very curious. But DOT chart, that's actually crazy. Look at that. That wick down to really bear market lows. Has any other chart done that, like AVAX? Let me see. AVAX did. There's the fall lows before we exited. That's next level. Didn't even realize those charts actually wick that low. I think AVAX just had an ETP with the Cardano news. Virtune. I think AVAX was also on here. I could be wrong. AVAX in max pain territory, along with DOT. How about Matic? Let's look at Matic. I know I thought I had a Matic chart. I don't like when I don't have a chart already up because what a bummer. What's a good Matic chart? I don't even know. Matic. Like, what's an old BitMEX? Bitfinex? Whoa. Look at that. Did this really happen? Did this capitulate to 11 cents? Nope, that's not. Why'd I open up that one? Just open Coinbase, see what. So that must have just been on that one chart, Bitfinex. But still, look at this. Wow. I haven't studied Matic like crazy. It's, you know, it's always a coin that I thought would do well in the bull market. And man, if we get a reversal in altcoins, like this is like what is this? A quadruple bottom. Even Matic, because I've been doing this across the board for altcoins. I don't know if this is necessarily good or not, but Matic looks like it's testing its Fibonacci right now. Swing low, swing high. Yep. So Matic is one of those coins like that's actually testing this Fibonacci. Maybe could use coins if we can spot other coins like this is Matic, but other coins, any coins that are testing this, if we get some type of short-term confirmation support bounce out, this could be a leading indicator for crypto markets, something to keep an eye on. Not a guarantee, but something that kind of often happens in crypto. Other coins just kind of act as a leading indicator. Not necessarily like the most popular coins either. Appreciate the super chat, Rod. Thanks for the super chat. You make me look bullish. Love you. Love all you guys. AI CNA trading. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know what that is though. Thank you for the super chat, Dan. I'm with you, my guy. Bull or bear? Christ is always king. Amen. And this is how I put the smile on my face every day. When I wake up in the morning, crypto, no crypto, whatever, no matter what's happening, Christ is king. And that is it, everybody. That's where true joy comes from, not from money, not from crypto. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. I think I went through all of them. This is kind of the question too. Fed prints June. When are the money printers really going to start coming on? I just saw, what was it? Let me see. Bank of England cuts rates by 1/4 point to 4.5%. The Fed is next. This was from Bitcoin Magazine posting that. But it's like, when is the Fed going to start coming around? I know people are like, well, Trump doesn't dictate what they do with interest rates, but I think Trump has a lot of influence. And the real question is, when are the money printers coming on? When is this going to happen? The quantitative easing in the US. And I'm I'm looking at Plutus Staking, our conversations, where we share like all of this news that's going on. But he actually did point out, I meant to kind of bring this up, Made in America ETF, right? I don't want to speculate too much, but like, what is that? I wonder if this could be made in America crypto companies, or is this just made in America? Like, what is this? Because obviously the Bitcoin Plus is, I think, drawing most of the attention. But the Made in America ETF is very interesting. I'm a little late here. What's up, Dan? Are you saying things aren't looking bullish anymore? No. I think I've gently been trying to, project my bullishness without being too overly bullish, because I know it's not the most popular opinion, but not at all. I'm very bullish. That's me, though. I'm just, dude, I am just some guy out here that presses record on a video, and I'm just tracking crypto with you guys. Like, the data has played out very nice over the years, but it's all just my opinion. But I zoom out on ADA charts. I zoom out on ETH charts. Man, I look at this ETH BTC chart. Bullish divergence with all the high fear. And I'm very bullish. I'm not saying things aren't looking bullish anymore. And I just hope, as I'm saying that, there's 12,000 people, and I do want to take a moment. I don't know what's going to happen. It could all go to zero. This is all just my opinion. I get called a scammer a lot because, like, I'm bullish, but it doesn't make sense. I'm just a crypto bull out here, everybody. Yeah, this would be nice. Alts from the US, no capital gains tax. I think we're still bullish, but what are the odds we're entering a bear market? I don't know what the odds are. I mean, there's always a chance, right? I can't sit here and be like, it'll never happen, but we have to really, I think the better, most healthy thing to do is, like, if we go look at total crypto market cap, right? Why are we entering a bear market? Like, that's the question. Like, were we entering a bear market right here? 35% dip. This is total crypto market cap. This was 350 days after the Bitcoin halving. 35% dip. Were we entering a bear market? Here we are. This is literally, I should have just done a 1-minute video. Here we are. Not even 350 some days after the Bitcoin halving. And we are down in the consolidation 17%. So, like, was this the bear market? People exiting at $50 billion were not happy when it went to $730 billion. That 35%, 34% dip really shook them out. Was this the bear market? 27% dip. Always fun to look at 2017 too, because on a lot of these charts, there's a lot of similarities. And not saying it means anything, but Trump's first term back here, right? Trump's second term here, and this time he's a Bitcoin bull. He's a crypto bull. And there's so much in store we don't even know about. So, like, that's the question. Can we enter a bear market? Yeah. Right? I'm not going to sit here and say it will never happen. But where we are in the cycles, I don't think I don't think I'm going to sit here and be like, I'm not going to sit here and do videos saying it's the bear market. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I'm sure there's people out there that are saying it's the bear market. Like we have probably some overextended oscillators on the weeklies. Yeah, this is like my biggest concern. This reminds me of this past summer. Long consolidation period. It's like my biggest concern, realistically. Like I like the scenario I don't want to happen. Let me go to a Bitcoin chart. It's best. Bitcoin. So here's what I think this comment is referring to. But look at that, man. You remember this just brutal 8 months of consolidation after just this really nice move up? I don't want to use a fractal, like, because I don't want this fractal to play out. It's so easy to use fractals you want to play out, but using ones you don't want to play out, it's just like, maybe I'll just not use that one. It's very easy to cherry pick the data we want to see. And yeah, like the price action could look different. But I think the biggest thing for me is we're in a different part of the cycle now. And go to a weekly, we could absolutely, again, I haven't even talked about this, inverse head and shoulders. Actually, haven't even really talked about this much at all, right? But we're getting that revisit. Actually, let me. So you can see kind of this revisit to this neckline area, but the problem is, I think the neckline would be definitely a little bit closer to 80,000. Not more importantly, but important, the 20 and the 50-week moving average is kind of confluent with the neckline in there. Like, so Bitcoin could fall to the neckline area. It's in between these moving averages, test it. Altcoins, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to imagine having to do videos in this environment. But the question I have when we're talking about all this 8-month consolidation back here is if Bitcoin did do a move like that, would it last as long, all of the consolidation? Number one, I hope not. But number two, I don't necessarily think it would. But something to prepare for nonetheless. Would you class yourself as bull, bear, or realistic? I would say a realistic bull. I'm bullish, but it could all go to zero. I think this too, at this point, there's so much in play now. Keep in mind, we didn't have the bullish administration, right? For all of this move. We didn't have the US Bitcoin reserve even nearly as in play. We had people like Cynthia Loomis, senator, like pushing for Bitcoin and stuff, but like we didn't have Trump pushing this crazy bullish administration, a crypto czar, and we didn't have a governmental race for Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin starts falling, I just think, like this comment says, it would just get bought up. I really do think it would. I don't understand this. This administration is not bullish. They're just lying to us. Stop. I genuinely don't get that. That's not data-driven comment at all. That makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense. I get this comment so much. Trump hates crypto. Trump's not bullish on crypto. Everybody. Trump's launching a Bitcoin Plus ETF. We just saw the other day this press conference of like his administration of all these pro crypto people. Promises kept, everybody. Like he went on, he campaigned that he was a crypto bull, and now we have literally, it's happening. This comment does not make sense. And I have to bring it up because like I get this comment all the time in the comments. I think it might just be people that don't like Trump, but that's just an emotional comment. It's just not right. Here's the thing. I feel like Trump just wants to make money out of crypto. Let me first ask you, why are you in crypto? This narrative that sometimes floats around like somebody is wrong for wanting to profit in crypto. Like, why are we here? We're investing in crypto. Trump and maybe his companies, they're investing in crypto. Not to lose money. Let's be realistic about that. But the power here lies in the fact that President Trump is unleashing all of this crypto deregulation in the US, and all of the innovation and all of just the awesome tech that Gary Gensler has driven away from America. President Trump is unlocking to bring it back. So the purpose of that is to allow America to make money and to thrive and really to make America great again. So yeah, Trump wants to make money. And yeah, I'm bullish that that's my president. It's not rocket science, everybody, and there's nothing wrong with it. We can't virtue signal about this. That doesn't make sense. Like, do we want a president that likes to lose money? Because that's what we've had. You realize America has just been losing money. USAID, you've seen, if you're on X, I don't know if you've been following this, but like they've literally been using our taxpayer money to just fund the most evil, ridiculous things across the globe. Billions and billions of dollars. So we've had administrations that like America losing money. They like you losing money. Do you realize? We have a president that actually wants America to make money and wants to allow Americans to thrive within innovation and new tech. Come on. We are all here to make money, but for me, it's also important that the coins I select need to have future use and growth. I agree with that 100%. Like, that has been a very big thing for me, right? And I've been tracking my journey very transparently. I'm an ADA bull because I think the tech that it offers, and we're starting to see it. This is really Cardano's cycle to prove my thesis. And I'm very curious to see how it plays out. But when we think about things like Bitcoin DeFi being able to happen, Cardano is going to enable that. And I think Bitcoin OS is a very big part of that, the company Bitcoin OS. This is what Cardano is built for. And that is one piece of data that is very bullish. But that is why I'm right on board with you. Like, selecting things that fundamentally are bullish, right? And there's so many things. XRP has fundamentally bullish things going for it, bullish narratives. HBAR has it. And then what I like about something like DOGE is it's a high risk meme coin play, but it's also a value play in that genre, right? Like it's a value play in terms of meme coins. It is on Bitcoin. It is completely fairly distributed. And DOGE is definitely not, caving into the exchanges to pay for listings and pay influencers and stuff to cover it. That's a value play. I mean, it's a higher risk one, of course. One that I think is going to do very well. I've been listening for a while, Dan, and love your content. I do get a little nervous when you say you're a permable, but I will be holding. I did. I think I posted that on X the other day that I'm a permable. Here's the deal. Like when I say that, let me explain. Let me go to total crypto market cap. Last cycle, I took profits. Okay? I took profits last cycle. Did I time the exact top? No. Did I take as much profits as I probably should have? No. Even knowing a bear market's coming in play and, I'm going to do content, cover it, I still was just like, okay, I'm like very happy with the profits I took. I can hold what I have because listen, selling the top is like, for me in my mind is so important. Things get overbought, things get heated, things get crazy. We need consolidation from a cycle perspective. Maybe we need a bear market. It's very important to try and figure out how to take some profits. But at the same time, there's a piece of me that, especially this cycle, I want to have continued exposure to the markets because you just don't know what is going to happen, right? Like what if last cycle, this was somehow the bottom and we actually just kept going up? I don't know. It didn't happen, but still, I want to have exposure to the markets. But point being, I took profits. This cycle, my point is, as you're asking me this question, like it makes you nervous, I'm a permable, is very simply because when I look at where this chart is, I'm not going to be a bear. And I'm saying that in these environments of big dips. Because if we go back, and I just did this, right? I think it was a different chart, but like these consolidations that we had on the charts, for me, it would be like if I become a bear right now, it would be like becoming a bear right here. Very volatile, ugly dips. But I don't want to do that. Therefore, I'm a permable, everybody. I'm a permable. And I'll gladly accept that it doesn't play out and we actually fall lower and it's sideways and it's pain and, nothing happens for another year from now. I'd rather have exposure to these markets right now with all of these ridiculous headlines. I'd rather be a permable. Even if it doesn't play out. For 2025, I think it's going to be so bullish. And I would rather be on that side of the macro trade. Crypto golden age is about to begin. We should be more excited. I agree. I'm doing good, Dr. Crypto. How you doing, buddy? Doing good, man. Just grinding through. Don't risk money you're not willing to lose by buying at the top. If you do so, you have no one to blame but yourself. Agreed. This guy will never come up here to apologize when alts drop. Sorry, guys, I didn't see this coming. I just want to speak to that. Like, first off, what do I have to apologize for? I've been covering crypto for 7 years, since all the way back here. Crypto has dropped how many times as I've covered crypto? Why would a content creator have to apologize for that? Please explain. I'm not going to apologize, everybody, because it's not my fault that crypto is falling. I literally sit here when we start getting overextended, talking about the dip that is likely about to occur, pulling into the moving averages. I'm sorry if you did not see that content and watch my content, but I'm not going to apologize. for crypto dipping. And neither should any other content creator. Because when I talk about that, like I see other content creators, like I see Rob over at Digital Asset News. He posts a lot of comments he gets sometimes, and like just stop hating on content creators, please. I know I'm sorry, I did it again. See how I give in? I give into the negative comments too easy. I'm a weak man. Charles said February is going to be crazy month. I believe him. Yeah, I started the live stream with one of Charles' quotes, just because this was really good. Like, and I think it speaks to a lot of what a lot of us think. To give you a sense of how big the upcoming bull market is for crypto, we just absorbed a downturn that was larger than the collapse of Luna. Think about that. 2025 is crypto's year. It's only February, and it's early February. Let's get an update on this real quick. I'm just kind of curious. February, it was at what, 5%? Where'd it go? Okay. There we go. So this is Bitcoin still. I mean, it's like, since last time I refreshed, it's negative 4%. But the question is, it's only February 6th. How does this month end? The last bull market year, 36%, 2021. And the bull market year before that, 23%. No better way to if you want a green month, there's no better way to start it than being red. So we'll continue tracking how that is, but people had enough, can't look in previous history and expect the same. We don't, I mean, I don't think I expect the same at all, but I look at history because it is a beautiful picture of emotion and a beautiful picture of repetition and consistencies. So absolutely, I will look at previous cycles around this same time in the timeline. 2 cycles ago, 35% dip. Right now, getting a very similar dip almost at the same exact time post Bitcoin halving. I think it's very silly not to look at that, not to pay attention to that. And then you sprinkle in the sentiment, and you look at the sentiment being very similar, if not worse. These are indicators. These are great things to look at. We don't look at the charts like to kind of, at least I don't, to say this is exactly how it's going to play out, but we get absolutely very strong hints of it. We have a lot more bulls than I was expecting in the comments, just like we do. I appreciate that. And everybody, I genuinely apologize that it's like my 50th time over the last 7 years apologizing for focusing too much on the negative comments. But there is part of me that does want it, because there's like this part of me that thinks a lot of times when I get certain comments like, oh man, they didn't see though, like this perspective of it. Like they didn't see those videos, you know? And I want to speak to it and show it. And I want to zoom out and show the data. Dan, what's your expected top for ETH? I don't know. Haven't really sat down. This ETH BTC chart, I just kind of was starting to look at it today. I really like it. I really like looking at this chart. I'm so curious to see how it plays out. I mean, we have this bullish divergence on the RSI. When we've seen ETH BTC get in these environments, this could be a very good chart for altcoins. Let's see how this continues to play. Is it going to keep bleeding? Generally speaking, I mean, Bitcoin halving, if we just go to a regular ETH chart, and again, this is a good example of, you know, we just were looking at previous cycles, and you can't do that. And it's true, you can't make it exact. But especially when we're looking at cycles. So Ethereum from Bitcoin halving to the bull market top was 532 days. So if we look at Bitcoin halving this cycle, 532 days is October. Maybe that's what it is. There's the thought of a super cycle, an extended cycle, right? Maybe the money printers come on a little bit later than most wanted. We're like breaking even lower. We're getting a fake breakout out of this triangle. Then it's a busted pattern. And like, then we're just starting to break all-time high towards like October. And then we're like, this could be a super cycle picture. Just this longer bull market. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it will have to do with like, when are the money printers coming on? What's the Fed doing with interest rates? That could play into that. But I think point being, whether it's October 2025, whether it's later, point being, I think there's a lot of bull market left for Ethereum and everything else. Dan, I've been following for a while. Thanks for your content. Appreciate your support. Roberto wants to take a look at Doge. I know I have a Doge chart. Doge. It's the OG meme coin. Dogecoin. Look, I've made note, almost 50% candles last cycle. And look at that. I mean, we're looking at Bitcoin halving. I think this needs to be pushed back a couple of weeks, but look at that. 273 days. Bitcoin halving this cycle. I mean, even just looking at this, so Doge, swing high to swing low, 50% dip. Swing high to swing low, 50-some% dip. Almost exact time frame after Bitcoin halving. Doge doing exactly what it was doing last cycle. Only thing different, and this is where some of the pain comes into play. Last cycle, at that moment, was far above all-time high. This cycle at this moment still hasn't broken all-time high. This is where altcoin holders are becoming frustrated. And I get it. And I definitely understand. I get it. But for me, that's not a bear market signal. Like, that's just not a bear market signal. But Doge, I even think the consolidation on Doge right now, what's happening here compared to this one, I think it looks even better. Mainly just because it's just pulling right into the moving averages. It's allowing the moving averages to cool off a little bit. Right in between the 50 and the 20. And generally, it's just a higher low for Doge currently on the chart. Don't know if it's, look at that. See, this is where you take a Fibonacci. There's that higher low Fibonacci. Look at that. These green 618 to 786 areas. There's a higher low Fibonacci. Again, I don't know if this will hold, but look at this. This is what I'm talking about. And this is a really good representation, too, of the whole quote, be fearful when others are greedy, greedy when others are fearful. Because when we get into these higher low Fibonacci's, it's fear is what it is. That's a 786 retracement. It's like a deep retracement. Like, it's very big. So swing high. You can see it wicked below, right? Again, this is swing low to swing high. Wicked below Fibonacci, closed the candles in the Fibonacci. High fear, crazy. Unknown for weeks, months, what's going to happen, and then boom, breakout. Here we are. We're at the beginning of a higher low Fibonacci. Go deeper? Is it going to? I don't know. Is it going to be sideways? Is it going to be a quick bounce? Biggest thing for Doge would be watching the 20-week moving average. If it does start bouncing, can we get back above that area? How quick? But high fear environment. High fear environment. Notice how this was high fear and it wasn't over. This could be what we're in store for. If the shorter term Fibonacci's don't hold up and we can go lower and get more volatile, it could get ugly, everybody. And that's a brutal truth. But I'm not going to sit here and I'm just not going to be macro bearish. But really cool chart on Doge, actually. I'm not like the biggest fan of Doge, like as an investor or anything, but really cool chart on Doge. ETH ain't oversold, even oversold yet. I know. You would like to see it oversold. You really would. Like, if you look at the ETH BTC chart, well, I mean, it's oversold with the bullish divergence. It hit oversold. So this is a very good indicator. But I think if we look at the USD chart, on the weekly, nowhere close to oversold. It doesn't have to get oversold on the weekly, by the way, everybody, in a bull market. On the daily, we might like to see it oversold, though, and it's not. Hopefully, it doesn't need to get. And it doesn't. I mean, look at last bull market. Big dips, big red candles. Didn't need to get oversold on a daily. Even this one. This is massive. Like big 60% capitulation. Imagine being on a live stream kind of trying to figure out like what's going on. There's still more downside in play, but sitting here right now being like, man, ETH's not even oversold yet. And then actually seeing it never actually got oversold. Tested the lows. Never got oversold though. And then actually, boom, next move up. So a really nice example, like we definitely can't use one indicator solely, right? When things get oversold on a daily, I think it's a really helpful indicator. It becomes very helpful when something like Ethereum gets oversold. It's like, okay, this is like a bottoming range, but definitely not a guarantee. I feel like selling. Hey, I feel that way too sometimes. Sometimes I just feel like, you know what? Crypto gets frustrating sometimes. It tests our patience. Absolutely. Sometimes it's like, dude, I would just love to not be in crypto. ETH is 23 on the RSI. I don't know what RSI you're looking at. Obviously on the daily, on my RSI, like 32. Yeah, I don't know what RSI you're looking at. Trading in general is frustrating. Absolutely. Short-term trading. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but that's very much why I don't short-term trade. I don't have the mind for it. Wait till regulations kick in. It's going to get crazy in July. Focus on the tech being adopted, not just the price. It's a good comment, Tony. Like, we are very much focused on price, obviously, as long-term value investors, but we do have to realize what's happening with, and that's why I've been really trying to hone in on the fundamental and technical narratives that each of these cryptos has, like Ethereum. Ethereum does have some, Cardano, Ripple, because as we're in this new season of like clarity, we just saw this press conference the other day in the States. Next 100 days, what are these bills that are going through Congress? What are they going to be saying? It's going to unleash something special, everybody. And again, we're in a very nice year of a 4-year cycle. How do you think FTX payments will affect the markets? I mean, that's like what, a couple weeks or so, right? Billions being repaid. You would, I mean, the thought is that they would just use it to dump into crypto. So I don't know if it's enough. I really forget how much the FTX payment is. Is it enough to move markets? Bullish nonetheless. After all bullish news and narratives, yet crypto is bleeding, would you consider this institutional manipulation? Potentially. I think there's a lot of manipulation that goes on no matter what part of the cycle we're in. But over the years, everybody, how many times have we seen bullish news for like, not just crypto? Because right now we have the most macro bullish crypto news ever. All of it, all of the headlines. I'm not even going to get into it. You know what I'm talking about. But how many times we've gotten just even, really bullish Ethereum news, and Ethereum doesn't do anything. Bitcoin is a good example. We had such bullish news with Bitcoin. How are we have these ETFs and everything, and like, how is Bitcoin just trending downwards and sideways? All of the bullishness, and then boom. So a lot of times price just takes time to even catch up to bullish news. Just make sure you have enough fiat to live your life, bro. That's the thing. It's a balance for all of us, right? Like when trying to accumulate dips, when trying to figure out how much exposure to have in these markets, everybody's different. We're all completely different. But it's true. Like, take care of yourself. Make sure you're taken care of. Like, I don't give advice, but don't just go all in on crypto and spend more than you can afford to lose. We have to take care of our families. We have to be, good stewards of our money. So find that balance. No YouTuber will tell you what that looks like, what kind of exposure to get. Only you can sit down. And I genuinely think you should just sit down and think about that if you haven't already. Kevin Ellis, I see your super chat. Thank you for the super chat. ADA BTC. We've been looking at Ethereum BTC. For context, I do want to bring that up. Dude, this is a long live stream. Whoa. That's crazy. I went way over. I try and keep it at an hour. I'm going on 2 hours. I don't think YouTube algorithm is going to like that very much. ETH BTC, but it's okay. I don't care. ETH BTC is up. I want to see ADA BTC. I don't know how I don't have an ADA BTC chart up here. It's crazy. Oh, there it is. Let's go to weekly. Man, it's brutal because ADA was like making that move. Let's go. And then boom. So I just like to glance. Hold on a second. Bitcoin halvings in yellow. ETH BTC. Bitcoin halvings in yellow. It's so interesting actually to see this ETH BTC chart. And then you look at ADA BTC. ADA BTC. Forgive me, I'm just very curious of the similarities between ETH BTC. So ETH BTC last bear market to where it is, 74%. ADA BTC, 79%, very similar. Only difference is ETH has not even really made an attempt to make a power move above the moving averages. It's still in the bear market against BTC. Like if you notice last cycle, it starts making that attempt, throws back to the moving averages, all that consolidation. Like this is kind of like technically what ADA is doing. Go look at ADA. Boom. Like that escape above the moving averages. And then now boom, testing the moving averages, kind of in that consolidation. It's even kind of similar to last cycle. ADA BTC. Definitely falling behind in terms of like the true escape. It's falling behind. We are 287 days. So 238 days last cycle is basically when ADA bottomed out on BTC. And right now, and this is what this is kind of where like things like Bitcoin dominance threw a wrench in things a little bit here, right? Because look at the similarities when ADA BTC made the power move, right? In November. Boom. 217 days, 238 days, looking very similar. Like here's our escape. Here it's happening again this cycle. And now it's fallen. It's given up a lot of those gains. It doesn't mean anything, you know, like it's done. ADA's done, Ethereum's done against BTC, but obviously it's taking a little bit longer. And even right now, if you look at the swing low, November, on the ADA BTC chart, ADA testing critical Fibonacci higher low. Even this week is important. 3 days, 6 hours on ADA BTC. Can it close above the 50? Like a revisit between the 20 and the 50 is not a bad thing, considering we just had the cross, 20 crossing above the 50. Like revisiting the area, not a bad thing. You can see last cycle, ADA BTC, 20 week moving average crossing. Took a little longer, but boom, fell into that area and actually capitulated below the area. But you can see how these markets are incredibly volatile. But ETH BTC and ADA BTC around the same amount from last cycle, which is very interesting to see that. Like swing low to where it is right now, 70-some%. Swing low to where it is right now, 70-some%. The thing about it is like, when it comes to 2025, when it comes to altcoin season, this literally could be the bottoming out formation for ADA BTC before we get the really nice continuation. We track it like, we track these cycles like this pendulum swinging, right? So bull market high and then into a bear market. It just takes a shift, a pivot. Bear market low to bull market. It just takes time. It takes like a whole momentum shift, a whole reversal shift. So very much in these high fear environments of altcoins versus BTC, these things could just be bottoming out. And I'm sure, I don't know what, I mean, we looked at Ethereum BTC. This is ADA BTC. We looked at Ethereum BTC. I'm sure there's other altcoin BTC charts to look at, but I'm sure a lot of them look very similar. I've touched grass and went back inside. I need to touch grass today after this live stream. Bears, do you actually think a bear market is coming, or you're all just salty because your bags are down? I think that sometimes too. Like genuinely, like, you know, markets are down, right? None of us like, you know, we wake up in the morning, we want to see green candles and then it's like red candles. And just taking that initial disappointment, being like, dude, we are still down. Come on. We're like a month or two behind last cycle. We should be approaching all-time highs now. Come on. Is it in that moment of frustration, people are either like, you know what, I'm locked in, I don't care, I'm bullish, I'm focused on the macro. You have that decision, or you have the decision like, I'm going all full out bear right now because I'm so frustrated. BTC finding support on the weekly? Is it? I think we looked at it. I just don't remember. I'm looking at so many charts. Maybe, maybe not. The 20 and the 50 are just down there at that inverse head and shoulders neckline area, right? It just always gets me. It's been getting me. It's been eating at me. We've been talking about it since we broke the neckline, right? This neckline area that's there. Ever since we broke it months ago, we've been talking about the potential for the throwback, and it really gets me because if it happens, especially now, altcoins have been kind of demolished. It might get even uglier. I mean, that DOGE chart could be a really nice illustration of the pain that might be involved before next leg up. I don't want to talk about it, but it really could be. What I'm talking about is red ugly candle, really nice bounce, and then lower. Really ugly candle, maybe we get a nice bounce, rejection at the 20, lower. But even if that happened, I have a question for all of you guys. Like, because this is my mindset. It goes lower. But if this is continuation to bull market, isn't that still bullish? Like, isn't it still a higher low? Does shorting just because it will make money make me a bear? I know the price will rise, but I need to make money now. Short until long makes sense. Dude, Jake, if you can sit there and short and make money before getting back in and time it and trade it, props to you, man. Who cares if it makes you a bear? If you're a bear making money. Thanks, Venture Van. Also bullish on the macro. This is how I feel too, man. I was sitting out back, like on the porch, and it was like, I was thinking the same thing because I was like, I want to do a video. I like to do videos. I like to be consistent no matter what. Even when I don't like doing videos, I do them. Like I've really done them like mostly every day for almost 7 years. Obviously, there's been days off, but today was one of those days I was like, I don't feel like doing a video, man. I really just don't. When you feel like you're running out of patience in crypto, that's when the sentiment is going to turn around soon. And that's exactly the thought I had out there when I was like, this is so annoying. I thought that. I was like, I felt this feeling before throughout the years. And it's actually a bullish indicator. That terrible lack of patience feeling. It's a very bullish indicator. It's very promising that looks like some of you have that. The videos, when it is falling, are the most important. I think so too, especially for me mentally. Like, I'm the type of person when there is pain, I don't want to back down from it. I want to learn from it. I want to get better from it. I want to lean into it. It's also why I take like the negative comments. I know I talk about them a lot and highlight them a lot, but it's because I take them seriously. Like I want to be better at what I do. And when I do see a negative comment, I'm just like, man, is there something there for me to learn? Because am I missing something? You know what I'm saying? Dose me with some hopium. If you want hopium, you don't even need me. You just don't. If you want hopium, go to total crypto market cap chart. Look at this piece of data. Bitcoin halving, 2017. 350 days after Bitcoin halving, 35% dip. Here's the current dip that we're in right now. You asked for hopium, I'm just giving you some. Here's the current dip total, like, I don't even know. 15%. 287 days post Bitcoin halving in the most bullish era we've ever been. You tell me, is that enough hopium for you? And look at all the other dips in that bull market, by the way. Was that 43% dip the beginning of the bear market? No. Was this 34% dip at the beginning of the bear market? No. Was this 27% at the beginning of the bear market? No. Is this dip The beginning of the bear market? Maybe, but I doubt it. So you really don't even need me. Just go zoom out on the total crypto market cap chart. Love that you're thinking out loud with us all. Thanks, Rachel. I love that. It seems like many of you are thinking the same thing. I'm frustrated everyone keeps calling for an altcoin season while metrics keep going the other way. Too much hopium. Probably right now, my biggest frustration in these markets, if there's going to be one, I think like a lot of the data I've tracked over the years has been so incredibly like consistent and sound, right? How many times have we tracked something and it happened? It's been incredible. Like it really has been incredible. Like even from a cycle perspective, when you look at the Bitcoin charts, right? Let me see. I don't have the chart open, but that chart that I charted here in 2018, just like calling for a bull market and then a bear market and then the bull market that we're in. Like, I can't believe it played out. Not perfect or exact, but it played out so well. The one chart that is actually frustrating me right now the most is absolutely Bitcoin dominance. And definitely a miscalculation, like for me, right? And I know I sit here and I'm always like, anything can happen, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that Bitcoin dominance right now is trending higher after this moment, like the third altcoin season trigger, so on par and consistent with previous cycles. This is the most frustrating thing for me. But with that frustration for me, I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. Like we're in a different environment right now. We have governments racing for Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin ETFs. And there's a lot of hype right now about the US Bitcoin Reserve. But for me, it doesn't mean that altcoin season is not going to happen. It just means like we're getting another leg up with Bitcoin dominance. And we might have to wait longer and keep tracking this piece of data. But this is the most frustrating chart for me. But objectively looking at it, we do have from the technical analysis perspective. And this comment, you're frustrated about the altcoin season. This is probably the most frustrating chart to you too. But we do have this bearish divergence as something to keep an eye on. It can be some copium, as many will say, for altcoin holders. But even this week, I'm very curious to see what Bitcoin dominance does, trending around 61%. Pretty crazy. But I get the frustration too. There's things about this cycle that frustrate me, but Lopez says not going to be like other cycles. And it's when you start seeing pieces of data diverge, like this Bitcoin dominance chart, it doesn't mean it has to be a bearish thing. It could very simply mean what Lopez is saying. It's just not going to be like other cycles. A question is like, there's all this talk of a super cycle, an extended cycle. If that happens, everything's going to look different. Right? If that happens, Bitcoin dominance will look different. I'm curious to see where Bitcoin dominance tops out at. I know Bitcoin maximalists will basically just say it's going here at 200%. Wealth has transferred from the impatient to the patient. Yeah, it seems that way. Time and time again, over the cycles, it seems that way. Somebody asks, what would be my invalidation point? I'm definitely open to this rect capital chart. So there's two things in terms of invalidation for me, for Bitcoin dominance. Like the fact that Bitcoin dominance is going higher into the Fibonacci is not invalidation for me. This range for this cycle has always been in play, and I've tracked it on this YouTube channel. It's like, there are the videos. They're there, right? It's the last bull market swing high to swing low. It's the Fibonacci range. And it's there. This anywhere in this range for Bitcoin dominance to top out. And now that we have bearish divergence in here on the weekly is something to pay attention to. I'm open to what this post from Rect Capital says. Bitcoin dominance has finally broken into 58 to 71%. I guess, you know, for me, I've been tracking the lower high Fibonacci's because this is what happened last cycle. From 2017, boom, right to the Fibonacci. Didn't enter the range, but the lower end of the Fibonacci, boom, falls. So from that swing high to swing low, Fibonacci, we're in the range now. Will it fall? He's not tracking that. He's basically tracking this 71% area that you see here. And if we go and look at Bitcoin dominance, we can take a horizontal line, kind of just put it, 71, 72%. You can just see this area, right? So boom, failure, boom, failure, boom, failure. So he's disregarding this as an area of resistance for Bitcoin dominance, my lower high Fibonacci, which is fine. And he's saying here, it can go up to here. So these would be 2 points of invalidation for me. Bitcoin dominance breaks out of the Fibonacci to the upside. That's crazy. If it breaks above this area, that would be invalidation. BlackRock purchased over $276 million of ETH on the dip. If that's not an indicator, I don't know what is. Many whales buying. And these are the headlines we had, if you remember, Bitcoin ETF. Price was not doing anything. Price kind of trending like sideways down, like what's going on? And then boom, finally it breaks out. But people are like, why? If they're buying, institutions are buying and loading up Bitcoin, why are we not like breaking out towards 100,000? And then boom. Not financial advice, but buy base memes while they're at these insane prices. Ski Mask Dog is the base meme play for me. I've tracked it. We'll see what happens. $120 million market cap, I guess. If we get altcoin season, if we get meme coin season, this chart is going to be ridiculous. And I'm sure many others on base. I just think Ski Mask Dog is the best play on base. Thanks, Pedro. Appreciate your support. I love Rex content. Yeah, I think this account puts out some good stuff, right? Rex Capital. It's interesting. I totally respect this comment. When crypto goes mainstream, most will only buy into Bitcoin. It's again, respect that. It's funny because my mind thinks different. Like, especially as Bitcoin approaches 150, 200,000. I really think mainstream will absolutely love buying altcoins. Not only the lower prices, which obviously is deceiving, but lower market cap. The upside potential. Same thing every bull run. What about dog? Covered dog earlier. Same thing. Ski Mask Dog on base, dog on Bitcoin. You have to love charts like this, everybody, when it's so ugly. You're going to just see, especially the people that are like, told you. I've been getting a lot of dog comments lately. Told you, you scammer. Dog is such a nice chart for if you're preparing for a bull market and you have risk exposure to meme coins. The number one meme coin on Bitcoin, fairly distributed. This doesn't get any better than that. It's such a high fear environment. Hi, Dan. Is Litecoin bullish? Because ETF news. Could you look on chart, please? I don't know. Yes. Litecoin can have a breakout cycle. Finally. Will it? I don't know. But it absolutely is positioned to, and I think it can. And it could be a sleeper. Last cycle, I mean, there was a lot of controversy. I pivoted away from Litecoin. I didn't like the chart. Also, some things going on within Litecoin. And that is around when I became a Cardano bull before the last bull market. And last cycle for Litecoin wasn't the best. But this cycle might be a little different, especially with institutional adoption. Litecoin has laid down its spot in the crypto space, and even their marketing is a little bit better. Their marketing approach is a little bit better than last cycle, a bit better. But yeah, Litecoin can do very well. The thing I want Litecoin to do is just go to $1,000. I want Litecoin to go to $1,000. On YouTube, go look up digital asset news by how to buy dog. And he'll show you how to buy a dog on Xverse app. Very simple. Epic stream, bro. Appreciate you being here. I didn't even want to do a video today, and here we are, almost 2.5 hour stream. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's crazy. My longest stream was election night, like 5.5 hours. Total crypto market cap chart, I think through this live stream is what DOGE chart was very helpful too, to kind of give picture of the short term, of more pain that could potentially be in play. It's in play, everybody, okay? We want this to be the bottom. We'll look at the shorter term higher lows, the Fibonacci that's in there. This is a weekly chart, but there's that Fibonacci on all these altcoin charts. We trickled down a little bit more, right? That's in play. But I think this live stream, the total crypto market cap chart, did a really good job of just illustrating how across cycles, dips happen. We're in one now. Doesn't necessarily mean we're in a bear market. If things get worse, there's always the if, right? If we have to wait truly for like money printers in the US, and it's just like, man, this is going to go into spring, late spring, whenever, and this market trickles down, everybody. I just want to put this out there that I will still be here as a macro bull, okay? I'm not here to try and trade, hey, everybody, you should have sold here and time whenever to get back into the markets. I am here because I think we are at the very beginning, the precipice of a whole new thing for crypto, a whole new era. So like, yes, let's prepare for just absolute, like ridiculous pain. It could happen. Maybe we have to wait for the money printers. Maybe we're just sideways until it happens. Maybe we don't have to wait for the money printers. And then the money printers come on and it's ridiculous. I don't know how this will play out, everybody. But I think this chart does a very good example of just saying, you know what, zoom out. Prepare yourself. Figure out how much skin in the game you want to have at this moment. And recognize the bigger picture. Because that's kind of what I'm doing. And that's my approach. And I'm not trying to tell any of you how to trade, what to do, what to buy, but I am just here in the same fashion I was here back here doing videos. We're at 3 trillion now. Back here, we were at 100 billion. I'm just tracking these cycles with you. And I think we're in a very bullish environment. Even if we have to wait a few more months. I would love the breakout to happen this week or next week. I would love to continue upwards. But if we have to, I will be here waiting. So for all 15,000 of you that are watching, just know that. Downside or upside, I'm just here. Waiting. I'm tracking. I'm so curious to see what Congress comes up with in the next 100 days or so. I'm so curious to see what the crypto czar does. I'm so curious to see what the Bitcoin reserve is all about. I'm so curious to see how many more whales and institutions and headlines about just retail selling to institutions. I'm so curious to see how many of those headlines we get in the coming weeks and months. But I'm here for it. If you're here for it as well, please subscribe. I appreciate all of you subscribers. I really do. All of your support out there. I just genuinely thank you. You know, creating content accidentally became kind of like a business for me, and just my YouTube channel is a business. I appreciate itrustcapital, today's sponsor of the video, all the companies building in the space, and all of you guys. You make it enjoyable, way more enjoyable for me to go through the crypto volatility. So subscribe, turn notifications on. If anything else crazy happens today, some insane price action, I'll do another video. Otherwise, hang in there. If you enjoyed the video, please consider smashing that like button, and I will see you in the next video. God bless.